Hello. Who is the child killer in Dexter, Original Sin? Dexter's original sin involves spending too much time with Sophia and wasting time. Sarah Michelle Gellar. Dexter, Original Sin. The identity of the child killer who murdered Jimmy Powell and kidnapped Nikki Spencer is revealed in Season 1, Episode 7, The Big Bad Body Problem. It's a horrific surprise that will make viewers of the original series question why they didn't notice it sooner. However, despite an enticing title, little else happens in an hour, suggesting that fans may not have wanted a Dexter prequel. The Big Bad Body Problem is a reference to the cliffhanger from Episode 6, in which Dexter Morgan realized the police had found where he loves to dispose of his victims. Dexter spends a major portion of the episode hunting for another spot to bury bodies, which isn't really exciting, especially 2/3 of the way through the season. Finding out who the killer is makes it all worthwhile, but it happens so late that fans must wait for that information. Who is the child killer in Dexter, Original Sin? One of the main characters is revealed as the Big Bad. The good news is that Dexter, Original Sin has identified the child killer. The bad news is that it is Captain Aaron Spencer. Patrick Dempsey's character is revealed to be the killer near the end of Episode 7, when Dexter realizes that the offender shares Nikki Spencer's blood type. The show then emphasizes this point by showing Captain Spencer purchasing the same pre-made lunch boxes that the killer distributes to his victims. It's a fantastic plot twist, but also a very sick one, because it implies Spencer severed his own son's finger. The discovery is hilarious because it is so frightening, but once it hits home, viewers will probably not be surprised that the writers chose such a twisted alternative. On the other side, it virtually negates Spencer's character progress from Episode 6. After his son's abduction, he revealed a more human, vulnerable side of himself, which made him feel like a three-dimensional character. Now he's just a crazy, terrible guy. Anyone who adored Dempsey on Grey's Anatomy is likely to be deeply troubled by whatever happens next. And the actor's concerns about getting killed off in the Dexter prequel now feel very real. Perhaps the opportunity to play a murderer lured Dempsey to the part. But one thing is certain, he now has an extremely high benchmark to meet. Johnny Lee Miller and John Lithgow, for example, were really likable performers who were transformed into quite frightening characters in the first Dexter. If Dempsey's portrayal of Spencer isn't as compelling as those performers, Dexter, Original Sin may come across as a letdown. Dexter, Original Sin focuses too much on Sophia, and the character's personal life remains uninteresting. The child killer plot is so important since the rest of Dexter, Original Sin isn't that fascinating. When the show departs from Dexter's duties at the police department, it stumbles. In Season 1, Episode 7, there are two subplots regarding Dexter's home life. His sort of girlfriend Sofia Rivera ends their relationship, which poses a difficulty for Dexter's sister Deborah. The way all of this plays out is reminiscent of a teenage drama. Sophia suspects Dexter cheated on her after discovering a condom wrapper in his truck, which was simply a random piece of junk. She tells Deb, who tries to defend her brother, which upsets Sophia, who then informs Deb's rival Tiffany that Deb and her boyfriend Gio took Tiffany's car. Tiffany confronts Deborah. Deb smacks her in the face, dismissing her from the volleyball team and ending her chances of receiving an athletic scholarship. The Big Bad Body Problem spends a significant amount of time on Dexter attempting to decipher the beeper codes Sophia is sending to his pager. It's intended to be another example of his distant nature, as well as a reminder that the series takes place in the early 1990s. But it simply feels like filler. Meanwhile, Deb and Sophia's presence does little to enhance the presentation. It's not surprising that Dexter's relationship with Sophia ends when it never really started in the first place. And Deb getting into so much trouble is bad for her,